I'm Faith Adedokin, and on behalf of Group 7, I'll be discussing with you our analysis for maximizing revenue at Zion National Park Lodge. About Zion National Park Lodge. Zion National Park Lodge is a 3-star indoor lodge located in Springdale, Utah. Located in Zion Park, it is the only in-park lodging available within Zion Park. Its ease of access to the park, particularly for those who would prefer its indoor accommodations over a campsite, make Zion Lodge a highly sought-after destination for visitors to the park. The lodge also offers a number of package deals and in-park activities. With 76 rooms, 40 cabins, and 6 suites, the lodge books up months in advance during peak season. Our current observations of Zion's pricing model found that Zion usually charges more for rooms in the off-season and less during peak season. The park has a high volume of overnight campers and is surrounded by several competing hotels for overnight lodging. With that said, during our analysis, we researched and compared Zion Lodge with 2 nearby lodges with similar offerings and 3-star rankings. Taking this information into account and using unconstraining, elasticity analysis, triple exponential smoothing, and willingness to pay analysis, we analyzed Zion's current pricing structure. Our approach. In order to give the most accurate analysis and recommendations, we collected 16 years of monthly data of all visitors to the park. From this, we derived a direct correlation between the number of visitors to the park and the occupancy demand for the lodge. Taking into account the capacity and deriving an unconstrained demand, we could see a clear seasonality trend and use this information in triple exponential smoothing to forecast future park visitors and demand. Using bids taken from a random sampling, a willingness to pay chart was created to find the optimal price for a potential guest and what they would be willing to pay to have a room at the Zion Lodge. We then compared the optimal price to the capacity of the Zion Lodge to determine what price per room should be used to maximize revenue for the lodge. Here you can see the noted difference between guest night stays and demand, particularly during peak season. After analyzing the willingness to pay, our forecasted demand gave a much clearer picture of what the park could optimally be charging during peak season and off-season. We determined that the Zion Lodge was underpricing its rooms during the peak season of March to October and overpricing its rooms during the off-season of November to February. With an average price of $232 per room during peak season and $177 during off-season, we found that increasing their average price in peak season to $292 and lowering it in the off-season to $160 would give an optimal pricing mix and aid in its maximizing its overall revenue. To confirm the findings, a price elasticity was calculated for both the off-season and peak season. As the price elasticity was less than 1 in both calculations, it was determined that raising the price in the peak season and lowering the price during the off-season would not deter visitors from staying at the Zion Lodge. These changes would have a marked effect in allowing the Zion Lodge to capitalize on its existing capacity while maximizing its overall monthly revenue. According to our calculations, this shift would result in a yearly savings of over $1.2 million. In addition to our data analysis, a competitor analysis was conducted as a part of our review. 2 hotels located directly outside the Zion National Park were chosen as competitors based on their similarities and their differences. For their similarities, they had 3-star rankings and similar amenities. Differences were also noted in that both of the competitors were located outside of the park, a key benefit to Zion, and thusly, they do not provide the ease of residing in the park and accessing its activities. Lastly, these hotels had pricing that ranged between $236 and $284 during peak season and $157 and $181 during the off-season, making our suggested pricing for Zion competitive within the local market. So finally, our recommendations. Based on the data and the competitor analysis, we recommended that the Zion Lodge implement an updated approach to its current pricing strategy by using room demand as a function to calculate updated lodging rates during the peak season and off-season to maximize revenue. In addition, we would recommend that Zion Lodge gather existing data regarding demand for weekend and holidays and use them as an additional segmentation for pricing. Other recommendations that would be worth exploring for the Zion Lodge, but we were not able to analyze in this project, would be utilizing the Lodge as a conference and event venue catered to private and corporate events during the off-season to maximize their revenue. Thank you so much for watching our presentation.